I'm the real Mike. That's the fake Mike over there. Time to go to war, you feel me?
Mikey Williams, the name that once lit up every high school gym in America, the viral sensation, the prodigy who was supposed to be the next LeBron James.
I was young. I was probably in like 7th grade, 8th grade, so all I knew was basketball. Like, business didn't really exist to me yet, you feel me? So it all just happened really fast.
But now, that same name echoes through a courtroom instead of an arena. Moments after hearing his fate, Mikey collapsed, body shaking, eyes full of disbelief. The cameras didn't see a superstar. They saw a broken 21-year-old whose dream had just been crushed.
Faith, God, I'm stuck in a tough position, so I wasn't gonna get myself out of that. Neither was my lawyers or anybody else.
So what happened to the kid who had it all? Let's break it down. From the start, Mikey Williams looked unstoppable. Born into an athletic family, his dad, a high school basketball star, his mom, a college softball standout, success was in his DNA. He picked up a basketball at 4 years old and never let it go.
I got into basketball I probably started playing when I was like 4. My pops was a coach, so I was already around basketball and stuff all the time.
By middle school, a single viral dunk video changed his life overnight. Millions watched the 7th grader flying through the air like a grown man. The internet crowned him the next big thing. Even LeBron noticed, but Mikey wasn't just talented, he was marketable. His father saw the future before anyone else. At 13, Mikey signed a 6-figure NIL deal. He became the youngest athlete in America to cash in on his own name. Soon came Puma, then NBA 2K, then Drake. Before he ever touched a college court, Mikey Williams was living like an NBA star. The fame came fast, too fast. Every dunk, every post, every camera flash built a fantasy. And for a while, it worked. At San Ysidro High, he averaged almost 30 points a game as a freshman. He even dropped 77 points in one night, a performance that turned him into a legend. But with every follower, the pressure grew. The spotlight was no longer warm, it was blinding. Therefore, the story that once looked like a fairy tale began to twist. Behind the filters and sponsorships, Mikey was slipping, and no one, not even his father, saw what was coming next. March 27th, 2023, the night that ended everything. It started with an argument outside Mikey's $1.2 million home. A group of uninvited guests, a fight. Then, according to reports, gunshots rang out, bullets striking a Tesla as it sped away. No one was injured, but the damage was done. Police arrived within hours. The headlines hit even faster. Mikey Williams arrested on 6 felony charges, then 9. Assault with a semi-automatic firearm, criminal threats, firing at an occupied vehicle. Each count carried years behind bars. Overnight, the kid everyone wanted to be became the cautionary tale no one wanted to believe. Fans compared him to Ja Morant. Reporters called it the Morant effect. Social media turned the prodigy into a punchline. And Memphis, the school that promised him a future, suspended him before he ever played a minute.
I couldn't get into Memphis, so I had to transfer anyways. But I felt like the coach, Coach Dawkins, played a big part in that. It's in the Big 12, you feel me? So the conference played a big part in that.
The collapse wasn't just public, it was personal. Puma dropped him. His $3.6 million NIL valuation disappeared. He was isolated, anxious, and angry. The same hands that once held trophies were now gripping a courtroom table. In interviews, Mikey later said, "Faith, God. I was stuck in a tough position. Nobody could get me out of that. That's how bad it got."
God, I'm stuck in a tough position, so I wasn't gonna get myself out of that. Neither was my lawyers or anybody else. It was really God. I just had to stay down because it didn't really hit me at first. You feel me? It hit me like a little minute into my little situation. It hit me, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when God really was tapping on my shoulder, like, you feel me?
He stopped showing up online, deactivated his Instagram for months, barely left home. The gyms were empty. The lights were gone. The kid who used to own social media couldn't even look at his phone.
I would have, but actually Kennedy, you told us not to deactivate our Instagrams, all that, yeah. Because I don't be liking to be on there for real.
You be deactivating yours?
Yeah, I didn't deactivate them a few times for like months.
Therefore, when he finally walked into court and heard his charges, reality hit. Not fame, not hype, just silence. Because in that moment, Mikey Williams realized the dream was gone. But this story doesn't end in prison. It ends with a second chance. November 30th, 2023, Mikey reached a plea deal. He pled guilty to one charge, making criminal threats. The other 8 felonies were dismissed. The court ordered anger management, therapy, gun safety classes, and community service. If he completed everything, the felony would drop to a misdemeanor. And he did it, every course, every hour. He even went beyond what the court required, working with youth programs, mentoring kids who looked up to him. 8 months later, the judge kept her word. No jail time, 1 year probation, freedom. When the verdict came down, Mikey's knees buckled. He tried to stand, but couldn't. Tears filled his eyes as the courtroom erupted in quiet relief. It wasn't victory, it was survival. Therefore, when he returned to basketball, everything felt different. He joined UCF, the University of Central Florida, played limited minutes, averaged 5 points a game, nothing like his high school days. But he was thankful. He said, "Even when I play 7 minutes, it's a blessing. I'm out here playing again. That's what matters."
For sure, like I'm grateful, like it's stuff like this. Like I have a game where I play 5 minutes, 7 minutes. I know I should be playing more, you feel me? It'd be tough, it'd be challenging. End of the day though, I'm like, bro, I'm out here playing, like it'll make you shed a tear, like that's the biggest blessing, you feel me?
Then came 2025. Mikey transferred again, this time to Sacramento State, with Mike Bibby as head coach and Shaquille O'Neal helping lead the program. A fresh start, a clean slate, and maybe a comeback. Because now, Mikey isn't chasing fame. He's chasing peace. He's chasing faith. And every time he steps on the court, it's a reminder. He made it through something most people wouldn't survive. He says, whatever it is you want to do, keep at it. You're going to get rewarded.
But whatever it is that you want to do, just keep at it. You're going to get rewarded, you know what I'm saying? But nah, for the most part, I just be happy for him, man.
That's not the cocky teenager who went viral at 13. That's a man who's learned what losing everything really feels like. Mikey Williams went from global sensation to inmate number, then back to underdog. His story is a warning, but also a miracle. Because sometimes falling apart is what makes you whole again. He may never reach the NBA, but he's finally found something bigger, redemption. If you're still watching, drop "Stay Strong Mikey" in the comments. And remember, talent might make you famous, but character is what keeps you standing when the lights go out.
Breaking NBA news, Rockets point guard Fred VanVleet has torn his ACL, according to multiple reports. Averaged 14 points, 5.5 assists a game for the Rockets last season. They finished second in the West a year ago. They added Kevin Durant this offseason, looking to become a real title contender, but now they're going to be without their #1 point guard for potentially the entire season.
This was supposed to be the year the Rockets went from a fun young team to a legitimate title contender. They had climbed out of the basement of the Western Conference, shocked everyone by finishing as the 2nd seed last season, and doubled down on their championship push by signing Kevin Durant in the offseason. The plan was simple. VanVleet runs the offense, Durant closes games, and the rest of Houston's young stars fill in the gaps. But now, that plan has been shredded in an instant. So what happens now? How do the Rockets survive without their floor general? And who, if anyone, can step into the role he left behind? Fred VanVleet suffered the torn ACL during a team minicamp in the Bahamas. It was a freak accident, one of those moments that makes fans sick to their stomach. Recovery from an ACL tear usually takes anywhere from 6 to 12 months, and in VanVleet's case, that means his season is effectively over before it ever started. He had just signed a 2-year extension this summer, a deal meant to secure his role as the Rockets' on-court leader and locker room voice. Instead, that investment now feels like a heavy weight dragging the team down. And the loss isn't just statistical. Van Vliet's value was never only about points or assists. It was about his poise under pressure, his ability to steady the offense, and his leadership when games got chaotic. He was the extension of the coach on the floor, the veteran voice keeping young talent focused. Without him, the Rockets lose far more than a point guard. They lose their anchor. But here's the real problem. Houston doesn't have a clear replacement. Their payroll is packed tight, leaving them with little flexibility under the salary cap. They can't just go out and sign another star guard. At best, they can offer minimum contracts unless they pull off a major trade. And every trade would come with a cost, likely one of their promising young players or a key piece of their depth chart. That puts enormous pressure on their internal options. Two names immediately jump out: Reed Sheppard and Amen Thompson. Sheppard is only a sophomore guard, still learning the pace and physicality of the NBA. Amen Thompson has the athleticism and defensive chops, but he's raw as a floor general. Both are exciting talents, but asking them to replace Van Vliet is like throwing a rookie driver onto the freeway and hoping they don't crash. It's a gamble, and Rockets fans know it. Of course, Houston could turn to the trade market. Rumors have already floated around names like Drew Holiday or TJ McConnell. Both could step in and run an offense, but the price would be steep. Holiday isn't cheap, and McConnell would still cost Houston valuable assets. The Rockets would be forced to give up young players, draft picks, or even role players who help keep their roster balanced. Is it worth gutting the future for a stopgap solution? That's the dilemma haunting Houston's front office right now. And then there are the free agents. Yes, there are veterans willing to sign for the minimum, but none of them come close to replacing Van Vliet. You don't swap out a floor general of his caliber with a bench journeyman and expect to keep pace in the West. Every path forward comes with pain. Either they sacrifice tomorrow for today, or they risk wasting an entire season of Kevin Durant's career by hoping their young guards can rise to the occasion. This is where the Rockets' dream collides with reality. With Van Vliet, they were looking at a legitimate shot at the finals. Without him, they risk slipping into the middle of the pack. In a conference stacked with the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Warriors, that drop could be fatal. The Rockets may still make the playoffs, but the idea of them hoisting a trophy suddenly feels like fantasy. The organization knows this, which is why their immediate plan is to evaluate from within. Expect to see Sheppard and Thompson take on expanded roles early in the season. The Rockets want to know if either of them can be trusted with the ball when the lights are brightest. Only after December 15th, when more players around the league become trade eligible, will Houston seriously consider making a move. Until then, this is a team in survival mode. And make no mistake, the stakes are enormous. Kevin Durant didn't come to Houston to babysit a rebuild. He came for one last run at another championship. If the Rockets waste this season, it won't just hurt in the standings. It could fracture the chemistry they've been building for 2 years. Imagine the frustration inside that locker room if they fall from second seed to first-round exit. Imagine the media storm if Durant starts questioning whether Houston made the right moves. This is the climax of the crisis. One injury has turned the Rockets from title favorites into the NBA's biggest question mark. Their future now hinges on a pair of unproven guards, a front office terrified of trading too much too soon, and a fan base left wondering if their shot at glory just slipped away before the first game even tipped off. So where does Houston go from here? They'll test their depth, they'll see what Sheppard and Thompson can do, and then, if reality forces their hand, they'll consider a blockbuster trade that could reshape the roster for years to come. The question is simple but brutal. Do they gamble their future for today, or do they stay patient and risk wasting Durant's window? Fred VanVleet's ACL tear didn't just injure a player. It may have ended the Rockets' championship dreams before they even began. So what do you think? Should the Rockets push all their chips in and make a trade? Or should they ride it out with their young guards and hope for the best? Drop your thoughts below, and if you're still watching, type Rockets collapse in the comments so I know you're one of the real ones.
I think that All the different relationships have been amazing.
New footage of Kobe Bryant's daughter has NBA fans in complete disbelief. Not because of what she said, but because of what she was caught doing. A private Hollywood Hills party, flashing lights, NBA players everywhere. And right in the middle of it all, Natalia Bryant, the daughter of basketball royalty. In just seconds of leaked video, the internet turned from admiration to outrage. How did the poised, camera-ready face of the Bryant legacy end up at the center of a viral scandal that has the entire NBA whispering behind closed doors? Let's break down exactly what happened. The clip surfaced out of nowhere. A shaky phone recording uploaded late at night, showing Natalia Bryant at a private invite-only party packed with NBA players in their early 20s. At first glance, it looked harmless. Dancing, laughing, casual conversation. But then, one frame changed everything. Natalia appeared a little too close to one particular player, whispering something in his ear as his hand rested on her back. Within hours, screenshots exploded across social media. Twitter threads formed, TikToks dissected every second, and NBA gossip pages went into overdrive. Kobe's daughter getting cozy with NBA stars? One headline screamed. To millions online, the footage didn't just show a party. It showed a perceived betrayal of Kobe Bryant's pristine legacy. Remember, this is the same Natalia Bryant praised for her USC graduation, her modeling career with IMG, her calm interviews about film and storytelling. In one viral night, that image flipped upside down. By morning, the clip had over 10 million views and was being reposted by major outlets. Fans flooded comment sections, some defending her right to have fun, others calling it disrespectful to the Bryant name. But the real storm was behind the scenes. Multiple players allegedly started scrubbing their social media, deleting posts, untagging photos, even locking accounts. One rookie reportedly deactivated Instagram entirely after fans noticed he'd posted from the same house that night. Coincidence? Probably not. And Natalia? Silent. No statements, no denial, just silence, which only fueled the fire. While fans argued online, the Bryant household went into full lockdown. Vanessa Bryant, known for protecting her daughters with unshakable resolve, was reportedly livid. Sources close to the family claim she felt blindsided, furious that someone in their inner circle had betrayed their trust. This wasn't a paparazzi ambush. The footage was taken from inside the party, recorded by someone who was supposed to be a friend. Behind closed doors, Vanessa began asking hard questions. Who leaked it? Who invited those players? Who was filming? According to insiders, legal action is on the table, and the Bryant family's social media settings have quietly changed, with fewer public posts, fewer tags, fewer chances for history to repeat itself. But here's the bigger issue. When your last name is Bryant, every move is a headline. Kobe represented discipline, loyalty, and control. The idea that his eldest daughter could be seen partying with NBA players hit fans like betrayal. The internet isn't judging a 22-year-old. It's judging the ghost of an icon. As the footage spread, fans started linking Natalia to LeBron James's son, Bronny. Both go to USC, both children of NBA legends.
What if both of them fell in love and just created the most dominant, the greatest basketball player to ever grace the earth?
In the comment sections, people started spinning fantasy narratives. NBA royalty meets NBA royalty. Tweets went viral, imagining a superchild born from the two greatest basketball families. But reality says otherwise. Bronny James has been publicly dating Parker Whitfield since 2024. They've vacationed together, posted anniversary photos. It's no secret. And Natalia? She's never once been photographed with Bronny in a romantic context. No dates, no joint appearances, no confirmations. Still, the internet refused to let go, because a lie wrapped in nostalgia spreads faster than the truth. This rumor storm didn't just embarrass her, it threatened her growing Hollywood reputation. Natalia Bryant, the model, filmmaker, and student of cinematic arts, was suddenly being reduced to gossip headlines and thumbnails. She wasn't a graduate anymore. She was a party girl. And for someone who's worked tirelessly to honor her father's memory, that label cuts deep. Here's what most fans don't see. Natalia Bryant isn't a scandal. She's a survivor. At 17, she lost her father and sister in a tragedy that shattered the sports world. Yet, instead of disappearing, she finished school, cared for her younger sisters, and went on to graduate from USC with honors. At that graduation, she wore a custom stole embroidered with Kobe's Black Mamba logo right over her heart. It read, "Thank you, Mom and Dad."
We're so proud of you. Thanks so much.
Presenting the recipients of the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Cinematic Arts, Film and Television Production. Natalia Diamante Bryant. Presenting Natalia's diploma is Jeannie Buss, USC Honorary Trustee and Governor of the Los Angeles Lakers.
It was a message of resilience, not rebellion. In her own words, "My dad and I would watch films for hours and analyze them together. He's the reason I'm pursuing film, to create stories that bring people closer like we were." So when fans call her reckless or disrespectful, they forget the bigger picture. Natalia Bryant has already proven her strength 1,000 times over. The leaked footage may have broken the internet, but it also exposed something deeper: how obsessed we are with seeing the children of legends as flawless reflections of their parents. The truth? They're not supposed to be perfect. They're supposed to be human. Kobe's daughter went to a party. Someone secretly filmed her. The world twisted that moment into a scandal because the idea of Bryant imperfection doesn't fit the story we want to tell. But perfection was never the point of the Mamba mentality. Kobe preached growth, resilience, and owning your narrative. And that's exactly what Natalia's doing now. While NBA players scramble to save their reputations and gossip blogs milk the story for clicks, Natalia's staying silent, letting time, not tweets, define what happens next. Those closest to the Bryants say Vanessa has tightened the family's inner circle, ensuring nothing like this happens again. And for Natalia, this may just be the wake-up call that reminds her fame isn't a privilege. It's a burden she never asked for. Still, one thing remains clear. The Bryant legacy isn't cracking. It's evolving. From tragedy to triumph, from innocence to independence, Natalia Bryant is learning what every child of greatness must learn. The world will watch, judge, and twist your story. Your only choice is how you rise above it. So while the internet obsesses over one party clip, the real story is just beginning. A story of a young woman determined to create her own identity in a world that refuses to let her be ordinary. If you're still watching, drop Mamba Pride in the comments to show your respect for the Bryant legacy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this story might just be the start of something much bigger.